we leave you today.
Out for his third in this opening term. Never in doubt.
Never in doubt. And the dilemma for Tony Shaw is, does he show confidence in Luke Godden?
Yes.
And we just see Anthony Rocker over there patting him on the back, say, come on, lad, stay with him, stay with him. It's probably too early to make the change, but 3 goals in the form that McLeod is in is ominous. Burton. Good vision by Tyson Edwards.
It's a good pass in between exactly 2 Collingwood players, so just so balanced in it.
In fact, it looks like Scotty Burns has now gone over to Anthony McLeod.
Well, it is a cruel game. Collingwood have dominated, and they lead by just 2 points, and Andy McLeod has nearly caught them on his own. Monkhorst wins the tap, but it comes to Bickley. He's kicked to centre half forward. Stevens, not quite the mark. Comes back to him. Umpire's letting it go.
Drew, quick report on Williams.
Yep.
Doctors take him down to the room, so it doesn't look that good.
No. And here is the incident with Paul Williams, number 10, in from the left. Oh, yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, it didn't look that serious, did it?
He couldn't put any pressure on his foot when he hopped off, Graham. Must be some sort of serious thing.
Might be a shooting pain.
Brett James just rolling the ankle in that little clash. The ball back to midfield, and we'll have a ball up.
Let's have another look at it. It's the left leg.
Yeah, left ankle, right there. Just turned inside.
Yeah.
James, of course, a former teammate, had 3 years at Collingwood. Pittman wins this hit out, back towards centre wing. Stevens, the hand pass back. Jamison running forward again. Look at the pass. Jarman, not quite. Michael, Jarman steals it. And then is bowled over from behind by Razzo, and a free kick to Jarman.
Well, he's holding his head. He did well. The first effort was good. Mal Michael's spoil was good, but the second effort where he went back after the ball, it was loose in contention. He was stumbling forward, and it's in the back. A tough one. The kid was committed.
He's been near it quite a bit, actually, Razzo, since he's come off the bench. Actually, he was in the lineup for the first time for the year last week. Didn't get a posse. I did the game. I'm not sure whether he came on or not. I think he might have sat on the bench all day.
Well, all the coach wants to see is that he's at it. He's committed at the player, at the ball, and he's been that certainly.
Jarman. And it's very strangely, it's offline and short. Just got over the line for a score.
Well, you just don't know how much he's troubled by that heel.
That's right. Yeah, he certainly has that trouble for the last 3 or 4 weeks, and he had a week off during the state game, so hopefully for Jarman's sake and Adelaide fans' sake that he should be okay.
Good to see Paul Williams back on the bench out from the rooms. Gets to the back of the pack for Nathan Buckley. He puts the hand pass in front of Lane, who really stretched the hammies for that. Lane deep to the full forward line, and Rocker, another one.
How did he get that?
Fellas, just quickly, Williams is back out on the bench. I'll just check with the doctor when he's finished working on him.
Well, it was a good strong lead by Sav Rocker. Benny Hart coming across, couldn't get the left hand to it. The lead and the momentum.
He's taken 5 marks.
Needs to kick the goal though.
Kicked just 1 goal, 2. Now he's got his second.
Well, there's a bit of a problem again for Malcolm Blight, having lost his fullback Nathan Bassett. He's got Peter Caven, who's not always comfortable at fullback, prefers the running centre half back role. And this man is a big man. Just quick handball there. Tyson Lane running very, very strongly. Probably Collingwood's best player at the moment. The lead is good. Benny Hart just doesn't stretch to it. And in the end, it was a fairly easy mark.
It's a good start by Sav. 5 kicks, 5 marks, 2 goals. So
exciting.
Paul Williams going down. He's obviously tested it. It's not going to be too much good. I don't think you'll see him for the rest of the night.
He's back to us at the centre circle. Number 49, Batheris, playing just his 6th game in the middle 4 for the Pies. McLeod, a high ball to the front edge of the square. It flips off Robrin. And pass back into it. Pack. Down goes Edwards. Lost it. Batheris. And they're really putting on pressure, Collingwood. Buckley from Monkhorst. Godden through Batheris to Anthony Rocker. The kick back towards centre wing is good. Krasiska, one of the veterans. A surviving player from the 1990 Premiership side. Long kick. Rocker got under it. A race on by Tarrant. He got it off the ground. It gets there.
Well,
Yep.
it's probably justice because it did appear he was pulled down as he ran after the ball, but just good reaction for the kid.
A lot of build-up comes from Collingwood's half-back line, Graham. I think that they seem to be working fairly well right through the half-back line, get it to the middle of the ground, and somehow they just keep going through up forward.
The encouraging side for them, Johnny, is that they're having a go. They're committed. They're making the contest, and the Crows don't have it all their own way. And if you make the contest often enough, you create the spill and you create the opportunities for the runners, and they're using the ball pretty well going forward.
David Pittman off and Lucas on.
Lucas Herbert going in to contest the centre bounce. We're just under a minute and a half to go to quarter time. The umpire comes in and is going to ball it up. There's David Pittman, who was fair dinkum been flogged by Monkhorst in his first quarter. Monkey's taken 3 marks at 3 kicks.
Pittman's had 2 and 2 though.
Did you give the points to Monkey? There's another kick.
Just.
Up to half forward. Hart did well. Kick by Hart. Perfect for Stevens. Well, the runners coming past in numbers. This is great running by Adelaide. Goodwin chopped off. Krasiska towards the outer side to Lane. He's got Monkhorst in support. Good mark by Tyson Lane.
How well is he playing? This is his kick number 7, mark number 3.
He's playing his lights out at the moment. Buckley from behind.
Good
Snapped
mark.
it. He could put this right in the goal square for Sav. The lead by Sav. It's hard on the back of the head. Rocker applies the tackle. Oh, we've got to see this again.
Well,
what
no.
a shot.
He filled up the hole. Perhaps he should have kept his eye on the ball though. Watch this.
Twing. Oh, it's the back of his arm.
I thought it was right off the chrome dome. 25 seconds left for Collingwood. They're within goal kicking distance. Can they get one to finish the quarter? They're on the play, they deserve it. Herbert's hand pass, not bad. Jamison gets it out. And you'd think that maybe Collingwood couldn't get a goal. Maybe the Crows can. Burton goes for a run. Margin just 13 points. Crows working into the breeze. Short to McLeod. Umpire mark or free kick? Nothing.
Yeah, strange.
McLeod centres. And there's a mark to Robin. Surely that was a mark or a free kick.
Well, Anthony Rocker hit him hard. Andrew McLeod bounced off, but Anthony Rocker is the one holding his shoulder. Just have a look at it again. Well, maybe the umpire was right, Drew.
Well, Collingwood had most of the play in that first quarter, and they lead by just 13 points after using the freeze. Not to the best. 5-3 to 3-2.
After 2 years of working together, the affair begins. Over 3 weeks, you won't believe what's about to happen.
What's going on? Billy, take your hand off me now.
It's time for the truth.
How do you feel about Greg? Love him. How do you feel about Billy? Love him.
Ally McBeal. You belong to me. Monday on 7.
McDonald's McMatch and Win Monopoly. Peel off a game sticker and you can win big prizes instantly. Like family holidays to Disneyland with Air New Zealand. And IBM Aptiva computers. McMatch and Win Monopoly. Stick around. This is going to be big.
With your normal home loan, you could pay off your home in around 25 years. But with Money for Life from Bank SA, you could pay off your home in around 7 years. And that leaves plenty of time and money to have a family, buy a new car, extend the house, spend on the kids, maybe even see the world. Money for Life.
The Bank of South Australia.
You're tuned to Ray on Reef Radio. Wishing farewell to my good buddy Franco, who's been lured across the ocean for a measly 100% pay raise. So, it's goodbye to sleepy old Tres Santos. You're gonna miss popping out for seafood. And I know you're gonna miss the way they serve Bacardi around here. But if you gotta go, you gotta go.
And now from Bacardi, there's Cubano.
Fly in now to the Peter Shearer Stocktake sale. Save up to 50% off suits, up to 50% off sports coats, up to 50% off trousers, and save up to 65% off knitwear. The Peter Shearer Stocktake sale. Check it out.
See every leather lounge you ever wanted at the lowest price, or it's free at Discount Lounge Centre. The leather experts. Comfort, style, the colours, true luxury. And with our prices, with 18 months interest free, at last it can happen. Discount Lounge Centre, Ranella, Parafield and Keswick.
You are an Australian, and we are the oil company who serves Australia. Adelaide Fuel Distributors. Professional people. Specialists constantly in touch with leading world technologies. People who can deliver the best products and the right advice. People who know there's one oil company who'll serve our country better. Adelaide Fuel Distributors, your Ampol Caltex distributor.
Every Olympic Games has had its own official poster. Now the art of the Olympic Games is yours to collect in a superb series of 24 poster cards. Cut the special token every day from the Appetiser or Sunday Mail and take it to your newsagent. Collect all 24 for just $1 each and become an Olympic record holder.
And welcome back to Football Park on a fine night for a change, here for night football on a Saturday night. And Collingwood had first use of the breeze in that first term, but they haven't really taken advantage of it, kicking 5-3 to 3-2. Sav Rocker, 5 marks, 5 kicks, but he kicked just 2-2 in the opening term to be their leading goal scorer. But what about Andy McLeod? The Crows kicked 3 and he got the lot. Well, there's another game in progress this evening up at the Gabba in Brisbane. It's between the Brisbane Lions and Essendon. If you don't wish to know the score, look away now. Second quarter about to get underway. Curls.
Great start by Collingwood. For the side that's on the bottom, they look very sharp and very confident indeed. And at this stage, they're just playing a tad ahead of the Crows players in sort of player movement. But there is a slight breeze going to the end the Crows are using now, and maybe we'll see a very close score at half-time.
Thanks, Curls. What do you reckon the breeze is worth?
Only a couple, Drew. There's Curls can't hear us, but the flags aren't flying or flapping all that much, and the windsock's barely out.
Moncourse wins in the middle. Buckley didn't have possession when he was dragged to ground. Crows got it going forward. They do have this breeze in the second term, Adelaide Crows.
Drew, just getting back to you asking that question. Yes, that is the favoured end, but is there a favoured end in football today as far as breeze is concerned?
Well, I thought there was a breeze at Waverley today, but you wouldn't know it from the way that game went. Hawthorn coming from a mile behind to beat St Kilda. Unbelievable. Burton did very well. He takes big marks, but he's pretty good at the in and unders. Moncourse is having a night out. They've got it going forward. Batheris here for Collingwood. Out wide to Lane, who's playing all over the place.
He's actually playing on the wing, Drew. I'm just trying to pick up whether when the ball is bounced, he's running off to tag one of the midfielders. I think his opponent is James Tyson. Batheris is on Bickley as the rover, and Burton is tagging Buckley.
Krasiska did very well. Batheris getting plenty of the ball, just pulled off his kick. Hand pass comes out to Buckley. He spins out of trouble, gets it to Lane, who bounces it up short of half forward. Good pace by James. Against his old side. Ball flipped in by Freeborn.
To Ivanovic.
He was enthusiastic, Mark Bickley, and Godden stayed over the ball, as we know he will. Just took him high.
Now the kick by Godden to centre half forward. Tarrant got his hands to it, couldn't take the mark. The hand pass was astray, and Adelaide are able to clear out of defence. Half back to half forward. Prestigiacomo lost control of it. Stevens, the hand pass was blind and chopped off by Burns. Back he comes to Razzo. Frank Razzo goes for the boundary line. He'll say he was going for Godden, and a boundary throw-in.
It's a bit of a surprise, and I think Curls would probably agree. David Pittman starting on the bench in this quarter. Lucas Herbert rucking.
Robran works to the front of Moncourse. This is the trouble with Collingwood. Who's there to give Moncourse a bit of a hand? Oh, it spills to Rashuto. He streams inside 50, goes for goal, and it wobbles and doesn't get there. Michael.
Did everything right except kick through the ball.
You wouldn't believe that he wouldn't make the distance on the run from inside 40.
With the breeze behind him.
Kick by Mal Michael towards the outer side. Brown in front, can't take the mark. Hart is there. Hart again. Oh, great control. Stevens to the top of the goal square. James, punched by Anthony Rocker.
Probably could have marked it then. Just probably lack of talk around the area there.
Could have marked it, but only just got his fist to it. He was in danger of missing it. He's playing centre-half back and done a pretty good job on Matthew Robran so far. And getting back, saving what appeared to be a certain goal. Scott Burns, the designated kicker.
Goes for a bit of distance, looking for Moncourse near the boundary line, and that is a perfect long kick.
That's a great kick against the wind, Drew.
Oh, phenomenal kick. Kick by Moncourse. Brown at centre wing, held off by his opponent, and that allowed Herbert in to take the mark, virtually uncontested. Rashuto, Jamison. Oh, kicked into Herbert, who was going back the other way. It spills to Lane. Now it opens up for Collingwood. What a hand pass by Lane to Brown. 25 metres that covered. Gavin Brown wants to be close to goal, takes it close, and goals!
Well, it was a mag.
On Today Tonight, the 4-year-old terror. Beating up his mother.
He'll stalk you, he'll attack.
Assaulting other kids at the preschool.
You're lucky if you don't get your nose broken.
His mother's desperate plea.
We shouldn't be like that.
Plus, remember the suffering of Adelaide's India rubber mum? Her joints dislocating and no cure in sight.
Yeah, why me?
Well, look at her now.
Yeah, I feel pretty good.
She's calling it a miracle and says all she did was pray. That's Today Tonight next week.
Oh, that's a huge goal for Collingwood into the breeze at the start of this second quarter to get the first goal of the term and open up a 3-goal lead. Gavin Brown, well done. But it comes down to Burton. Look at the difference in the distance with the kick. Punched by Michael to the line.
Drew, just a report, a further update on Williams for those Collingwood supporters. Still being assessed or looked at by the doctor. Not too good a news, but they won't give too much out.
Saw Matty Liptak warming up there. It's hard to see where he can come on. The midfield for Adelaide is okay. It's just that presence of Tyson Lane on the wing that Malcolm Blight might be looking at Liptak perhaps playing a tagging role there for a while. McLeod, left leg.
And got it. 4 out of 4 for McLeod. He's kicked Adelaide's entire goals.
Just very exciting player, isn't he? Just his balance and a guy who can run full pace and get underneath the ball and kick a goal like that. He's just a marvel.
And take the ball. Matty Robran just dropped it down. The hands of Andrew McLeod, particularly below his knees. He just does not fumble. Left foot, banana ball. Goal number 4. The Crows have kicked 4 goals. Andrew McLeod's kicked them all.
Phenomenal player, Andrew McLeod. Back in the middle. Moncourse and Herbert. Moncourse applying the tackle, but it spills the Crows' way. Burton a little kick out. Stevens been all right. Collingwood strapping really hard. Jamison goes back. Hurried kick by Bickley inside the 50. Edwards got pace. Taken away by Collingwood. Good smother by Edwards. Had no right to get anywhere near it. Spills to Costa. Run down by Lockyer. Godden ran straight past the ball. Razzo the hand pass. Anthony Rocker goes wide. Godden along the line. Up towards centre wing. Stevens. Yeah, he's playing well. Kick by Stevens, long. McLeod's there again, but too much height. Anthony Rocker.
Yes, Anthony Rocker's just dropping back in that position, and Moncourse breaks for him on the grandstand side.
Moncourse up to 5 marks, and now 6 kicks. Now Michael goes for a run through the middle. Not bad distance into the breeze. Severio's there. Punch to the front is good. Little hand pass out wide by Fuller. It sits all right for Tarrant. He's 50 metres out. Couldn't score from there. Sam!
Good grab. I tell you what, Collingwood are doing very, very well. They're running. They're using the ball well. one up, crumbing the bottom of the pack, and Tarrant has got some mobility, and he's certainly got some skill. And this fella here is giving Adelaide all sorts of problems. This is mark number 6. 7 minutes into the second quarter. Mark number 6. Yep. Matthew Robin coming off the ground. David Pittman coming back on now. He may go to centre-half forward, but we'll stay with Sav Rocker.
Well, Sav can really pierce a breeze with his kicking. He's going to be kicking from about 50. Into the breeze. Oh, he's kicked it well. A raking kick. And it's home. Oh, just grazed the post. So he's up to 2 goals, 3 now.
6 marks and 6 kicks, Drew.
Hey, Graham, what's your thought? Lane on McLeod.
Tyson Lane.
Yeah.
He's getting too much of the ball curls for Collingwood, surely.
Well, he might cut the other bloke out.
Well, yeah, if McLeod hadn't turned up, Crows might have been nil. Ellen's kick to half forward. Pittman made it a contest. Here's the exciting Burton. Beautiful kick. Oh, just missed Jarman. Punch to the front of the pack. Got daylight robbery. They've come out without the ball. Burns the hand pass to Godden, who is a terrier. There's no doubt about it.
You've got to love him.
Bickley's hand pass. This is too close to goal. McLeod again, but offline this time. Jarman unmarked in the goal square.
Oh, and he's going crook too.
Not very happy, Jas. And I must admit, I have been on the end of Jarman giving me a mouthful too, and it's not quite pleasant.
Well, Andrew McLeod was going for one of his other teammates, breaking to the pocket.
Didn't work for it.
I mean, you can't be too critical.
Anthony Rocker with a big punch. Burns helps it on for Collingwood. They're outside the 50. Crows will have to do it all again, but a bit of a fumble, and the ball's out of bounds. Rasciuto, not quite the same player this year he was last year when he ran 5th in the Brownlow.
The problem was he had an interrupted pre-season. I just don't think he ever recovered, Drew, and he's been under pressure since then. His confidence isn't where it should be.
Buckley's hand pass to Lockyer. Bit to like about young Tarkin Lockyer.
It's very smooth, isn't he?
Up to centre wing. Tarrant has been all right, playing just his 17th game. Freeborn, a good hand pass. Batheris, Krasiska. Look at the opening up here by the Collingwood players. Lane once more. And Rocker again.
Look, Collingwood are playing so well, it would be frustrating for their supporters to see them only 2 goals in front.
And beautifully coached too, Cornsey, because the way they brought the ball out here to play his own mark. Beautiful. Sam's gone for a big kick here. He's hooked it into the trees.
That's where his concentration level has just got to be told. I think a senior player or a runner has got to go out to him and say, look, you know, every kick you have, it's got to be a goal.
Yes, but I think what's unsettling him, he's kicked 480 or 90 goals for Collingwood. He knows how to kick them, but he's got a bit of pressure. There's a little bit of breeze there.
Bassett back on, boys.
He's a full forward, Graham. He must kick goals.
You're right. No argument.
Look at the kick in. Gone a mile. Herbert couldn't quite take the mark. Comes to the front. Caven pulled off his kick. Monkhorst another possession. He is playing the game of his life. Through Buckley to Lane, who is playing out of his tree here tonight. Ball kept in. Freeborn. Great hand pass. Gavin Krasiska. Oh, what a kick by Krasiska on the run. He gave it the banana. It's close. Yes!
For 3 days only, ending Sunday, everything at Mitre 10 is going at up to 50% off in our annual June clearance. Seas all clear sealant, $6.50. Going. Edge axle block splitter, $19.95 each. Going. Black & Decker coffee maker, $27.95. Going. There's a minimum of 10% off store-wide, so take a spin down to Mitre 10's annual June clearance for up to 50% off before it's all gone.
Mitre 10, out of 10, every time.
Well, Collingwood are rumbling here. They've kicked 2 goals to 1 into the breeze at the start of this second quarter, and they lead by 20 points. Batheris out of the middle. He's been very good. Here's young Craig Jackatine, number 38. Just gets free, but can't get the hand pass in. McLeod grabbed and slung to the ground. Whistle's gone. Jackatine are free. Well, it's Collingwood's, it's Buckley's. Keeps it low. Good kick.
Magnificent disposal.
Burns. Back to Lockyer. He pops it up. Rocker! Not quite. Goes off the ground. It doesn't get
somebody does.
Across the front of goal, or what?
So it's a goal.
No, behind.
Dear me,
There's a little soccer kick in there by Freeborn.
Well, Rocker contested. Well, not too many complaints there.
Interesting little kick. How did he even bring up a point? That was fantastic. Goodwin's kick. Lockyer. The whistle's gone. It's going to be a Crows free.
A free kick to Bickley, Drew.
At left half-back. Well, Adelaide, they've certainly got their problems. They've lost 5 in a row, and they're being outscored even though they're kicking with a breeze in the second quarter. The soccer off the ground. A desperate dive by Razzo was unsuccessful, but his tackle is magnificent. He kept himself in the play. Out of defence by Lane. Bickley midfield. Pittman caught at the back. It spills to Rocker. Anthony Rocker.
He's been very good centre half back at the moment.
What about the game of Monkhorst? Well, his hands were taken away. He didn't take the mark. Oh, the hand pass up to Burns. Burns dumps it into the breeze. Severio again.
Oh, that's a good mark. That is a strong mark.
They are full of confidence. You know, starting from the senior player right through to the junior player, and full marks to Tony Shaw with all the young boys here.
It's the way to do it. He sensed Bassett was very, very close to him. The big cheer is from Addy Connell and Matthew Liptek coming on. Brett James and Bickley coming off.
Graham, that's a little side issue. Unfortunately, Eddie is not here tonight to watch this. He has some other engagement.
I think he'll be satisfied with the result, but
8 marks to Severio Rocker, but so far he's kicked only 2 goals for. This for his third. It wobbles, it shakes, and falls for a behind. 2 goals, 5.
And now there's the psychological problem. He's just trying to guide the ball through instead of powering straight at that right-hand post with that powerful kick. It'll need some strong talking at half-time.
Jamison kicks in and Burton takes the mark. This game going live to the Collingwood Social Club tonight, and I'm sure that they're raising the roof with the way their players are travelling here tonight. They've won just 1 game out of 11 and sit last 2 games behind second last. Oh, great hand pass to Shuto. Connell. Jarman underneath the ball. Godden gets back from the back pocket. Just to the 50, comes to Connell. There's a push in the back. Is the umpire going to allow advantage? No, the ball's coming back to Stevens for some reason, because Pittman's got it.
Well, you're pushing it back there, Drew.
What about advantage?
You can play advantage, and that was a clear case of advantage.
And now Stevens is wide out, only about 8 metres in from the boundary line, on 50.
It's a nice
kick. Isn't it a beautiful kick? Just short.
Well, Matt Connell's had an immediate impact. He's a ball magnet. Doesn't always enjoy the coach's favour, boys, but when he comes on, he gets the ball. And Matthew Liptak will be desperate. He's in the forward pocket at the moment. Malcolm Blight just trying to break Collingwood's momentum. They've had so much of the play.
Look at the kick by Buckley. On one knee, Mal Michael. Went nearly to the 50. The kick by Michael. Out towards the broadcast side, looking for Lane, who's been an absolute star. It pulls up short of him to Stevens. His hand pass away, and a centering kick by Tyson is chopped off by Batheris. And this young fella, playing in his 6th game, has nailed a bit of the ball. He's coming up for 11 possessions. Oh, good mark. No mark to Hart. Pittman's hand pass to Jamison. Jamison, half-distance pass. McLeod again. This time, I think too far out to score unless he took. He goes wide. Oh, Jarman slipped his man.
As we see going with that sort of change, Lucas Herbert has gone to centre forward, and Pittman has gone into the ruck.
Williams back on, boys.
Williams back on.
So he replaces Craig Jackatine. Good to see Williams back.
Probably just had a nice little jab in the ankle.
Yeah,
boys.
You know what that's all about, eh?
Gee, you wouldn't do that to him, would you?
So Jarman. I think he's snuck that one through.
Telstra Big Pond makes it easy to experience the internet. The world's greatest research tool is also one giant amusement park. Get on Big Pond, because it doesn't matter what you're chasing or what entertains you. If you're looking, you'll find it here. Telstra Big Pond Internet Services makes the ride easy. Just call 1800 804 282. Big Pond, big possibilities.
So Paul Williams looks to be moving all right after rolling his ankle in the first quarter. Jarman, the first goal scorer for the Crows, other than Andy McLeod, but McLeod gave him the ball. Buckley, good hands, Batheris. Is he getting it? High to Rocker. From behind, comes to the front. Well done, Freeborn. Lane again. He hooked that one, no score.
They are having such a red-hot go at the moment and peppering the goals. It's almost criminal to see that they're not being able to capitalise on those opportunities. And Tyson Lane, I can't remember seeing him play as well as this.
It's a good start.
11 kicks, 3 handballs and 4 marks.
In tight, in the forward pocket for the Pies. Bassett goes back. And the kick out of defence by Goodwin. It's only to the 50. Here's trouble. Lockyer did well. Williams just back on. Across the face of goal. Tarrant caught behind. Punch to the goal square. Well done. And Bassett, I thought he was going to walk it over, but he kept it in. Edwards. Caven.
Crows running now.
Stevens has been very good for the Crows. Coming up for his 10th disposal. Kick by Mark Stevens up towards centre forward. Monkhorst and Monkhorst.
You can see that coming, boys.
Here's McLeod again for number 5. McLeod. No. His first miss.
But for teams that are number 14 and 16, they're putting on a real spectacle of Aussie rules. Burton couldn't jump on him, just nudged him under the ball and able to take the mark. The quick handball to Anthony McLeod. Just couldn't straighten up, unfortunately.
Very exciting,
This is a great exhibition of Australian rules football.
Lockyer kicks in. He's had 9 possessions in general play. Tarkin Lockyer. Krasiska straight up the ground to Michael.
Oh, good grab.
That's a good grab too.
Puts it wide. And here's Batheris. Rupert Batheris.
He's playing as a rover.
To the 50. Oh, tear it up high. Crumbs drove by Hart. Oh, look at the space in midfield. Edwards to the 50. Jarman. He cruises around and puts it up high. Oh, didn't quite get to Liptak, who was looking to get his first touch. Off the ground, out of bounds on the full. It's a Crows free kick.
It's good work there by Golding. They're running back into Liptak there. Showed a lot of courage.
Kim Costa doesn't trust his kick here. His teammates probably don't either. He's such a character around the club. He'd take great delight in kicking this and telling him about it.
About 49 metres out, and it's left, and through for a behind. Curls, I think the breeze might have died down a bit.
Just a tad. It's still just slightly down to the right of screen, but there's not a great deal of length in it as opposed to going the other way.
So it's a 13-point lead to the Pies, 7-7 to 5 goals 6.
That's a beautiful kick out, you know.
It's a pity he has to do so much, you know, as the designated bloke who brings the ball in rather than be in midfield to set up. Nathan Buckley. Ball close to the line. Stays in, Freeborn. Kangaroos premiership player. Burns did well. Back to Lockyer again. His kick towards the 50. Tarrant up high, making a contest of it. And spilling the ball out of Hart's hands. But it's flipped back Adelaide's way. Burton's hand pass. Back to Hart, almost blind to Edwards. To the outer wing, Costa. Costa to Stevens again. Good pressure put on by Rocker, Anthony Rocker. I just wonder whether the Rockers to be interchanged. If Sav's getting it but can't kick goals, would Anthony go better up forward?
I just think Anthony is playing so well at centre-half back. And look, Saverio Rocker has taken 8 marks before half-time. His kicking will come good, surely.
Here's the doctor. Liptak off the left. Jarman. Good punch by Michael. Burns in front. Bucked over the line. And we'll have a throw in.
Drew, just following on from that, it's not much point putting a player up there for foot who can't get the football. At least Big Sav is getting the ball, and his kicking will improve.
Now we're seeing interchange. King coming on. Is it Lockyer? who we've all been impressed with.
No, Fuller. That's Fuller going off.
Oh, sorry.
Fair hair, I reckon, fooled you there. Burton off the left. Jarman waits at the back. Oh, Rocker flew, but didn't come down with the ball. Michael did particularly well. Oh, quick interchange here. Razzo, he's back on. Mark dropped there by Freeborn. Edwards, ball flipped out of his hands. Buckley did well. Razzo again, up towards half forward. King just on the ground. Don't tell me he's playing on Hart. Hart's twice his size. Goodwin back in. Smart. Nigel Smart going for a bounce. Through the centre circle he goes. Long to Jarman. Not quite. A high tackle against Anthony Rocker. Oh, Jars, I've got your number. Actually, I think you're fighting out of your league there, Jars.
I just think it was where the tackle ended up of Sav Rocket. He was desperate there, unfortunate. It's definitely a free kick. We didn't see the ensuing exchange there.
Graham, you'll have the stats up there. Is that Nigel Smart's first real possession this quarter?
Well, he's had 5 kicks for the game, Curls, and 1 handball. I can't tell you his quarter-time scores.
Kick by Jarman is perfect.
Here's what Australia's leading motoring journalists had to say after testing the new Magna 3.5 V6.
Mitsubishi has a head kicker. The silky 3.5 engine matches Commodore's output and outstrips it in power to weight. Mitsubishi has built a V8 killer.
Magna 3.5 V6 feels like a V8. See it at your Mitsubishi dealer now.
It is Mitsubishi.
Well, it's a 2-man forward line for the Crows at the moment. McLeod's kicked 4 and Jarman has kicked 2. Pittman up very high. Buckley's kick smothered. It's Bills to Lane. Tyson Lane, the ex-Bulldog, isn't he having a night out? Bit of a fumble here by Goodwin. Grabbed by Buckley. He gave, oh, he's hurt. He's hurt, Nathan Buckley. The umpire's going to ball it up here, but Buckley is underneath there.
Something wrong with him.
It might be soft tissue somewhere. Maybe winded.
I just think he wanted a free kick.
No, I think it was an abdominal or lower abdominal blow, Johnny.
One of those.
Oh, he can't chase.
Burton.
Maybe groin.
Burton to full forward. Oh, Rocker punched it goalwards. He might have given away his second free in a minute. But no, the ball's out of bounds.
Well, we'd like to have a look at that. The crowd are letting the umpire know. But Anthony Rocker is at it. Darren Jarman was headed towards goal and the contact did appear to be from behind.
Buckley really struggled there in his chasing effort then.
You were right, Curls. He was going like a draft horse. Throws forward pocket. Anthony Rocker got a touch. Liptak comes back, concedes ground. James pops it high. Jarman on the line, but rushed through.
Pretty hard to judge that one by Jarman. I think he just stood back and let the Collingwood blokes push it through for a point then, Graham.
I think if there was someone in front of him who would have tried to jump on them, but the desperation of the defenders forced it through. It's been an impressive display by Collingwood, and
well, they had the breeze in the first term and wasted chances. They led by 13. They're into the breeze in the second term. Well, they still lead by 6. But there's only 3.5 minutes to go. Might just about be all square at half-time for all of Collingwood's efforts. Ball is definitely holding up. Jarman away to the right.
But there has been a shift in momentum in the game. The Crows have just settled in the last few minutes, particularly since Liptak and Connell have come on. I think that unsettled the momentum of Collingwood, and perhaps Collingwood have run their race. And I know it's early to call it at that, but they played so well without getting the real result on the scoreboard they deserved.
Ball holding up again. Anthony Rocker. No mark. Oh, Prestigious. That was a red-hot throw. But Theris goes back to Krasiska. Moncourse. Good. Oh, yes, paid. It was a bit of a juggle. I think the umpire might have blown the whistle a fraction early.
He held it long enough.
Yeah. The 2 number ones, Moncourse and Herbert. Freeborn. He was looking for Monkey, but he wasn't moving. Freeborn on the run. Long to the 50. Brown is there. Burton a big punch. Didn't go to the specky mark that time. He went to spoil. Tarrant Oh, up in the air with the hand pass. Rashuto. Kick by Rashuto. Smothered by Williams. It lands for Buckley. Kick by Buckley. He is definitely hurt. Centering ball. All Collingwood ground level. Brown gave it everything he had. Lane in the goal square. He's got another one.
Oh, he's killing him.
They thought it would never happen, but Sunday turns up war with Wilson.
The guy's gone construction crazy.
It's funny how you recognize the symptoms in others.
And he'll try anything to get his way.
What are those lights all about? What lights?
Home Improvement, Sunday on 7. Then at 8.
Jackpot!
If it's not a gambling Harry.
Check it out, Tommy. This is the loosest machine on the boat.
It's a change machine.
It's an undercover dick.
This is the document. Quick! Stuff it in my underpants. What?
That Rock from the Sun, Sunday on 7.
Now for this centre bounce in the foreground, this is Lane out here on the wing on Rashuto. So if he's playing wing and playing on a man who's all-Australian, he's absolutely flogging Rashuto.
No, he's been on James Tyson for just about all the night. That change has only just been made, Drew.
Has it?
Yeah. James Tyson has been his opponent.
So, fellas, Buckley is definitely injured. He can hardly hobble through his centre.
James goes short to Jarman. And he marks. Now this could be a crucial kick for the Crows here. 2 minutes to go to half-time. Jarman looking for his third goal or looking to give it off.
He's so smart, Darren Jarman. He realises if he can just put it up to the left-hand goal post, he'll have the distance. He's got a little bit of breeze from left to right.
I think Buckley's been caught off the ground.
It's a groin, I think, Curls. Look at that kick. Look at that kick.
That is phenomenal.
He loves it.
That is absolutely magnificent, and that's why Darren Jarman has been so valuable for the Crows. An almost impossible angle, but he sensed what the breeze was doing. He knew where the kick had to go. Look at this. Just stay with it. Goes left. It comes back nicely.
When they diagnose him, they'll do that down the ground.
Yeah, that's Neil Curley in the background, of course, worried about Nathan Buckley, who's been taken from the ground. Perhaps it's a groin, and still the Crows fight back, hanging in this game, regardless of how well Collingwood have played.
So Collingwood up by 6 points. Their skipper, Nathan Buckley, on the bench just before half-time. So both skippers benched at the moment, Buckley and Bickley. Ball in the centre, comes to Krasiska. Hurried kick, Freeborn's been very good. Good control.
It's been sensational, really.
Into Lane. Here comes Rashuto. He's round him easily. The kick by Lane to the top of the goal square. And another mark on the forward line for Theris.
Well, where's this kid come from? We know he's from East Perth. He came off Fremantle's rookie list, could you believe? He's no youngster. He's 23 going on 24. And he's playing as a rover. He's had a couple of opponents. Mark Bickley initially. That's probably why Mark Bickley's on the bench. And Tyson Edwards is now his immediate opponent.
Well, this is his 6th game. I've seen him play about maybe 3 or 4 of them, and he hasn't gone anywhere near as well as he's gone tonight in previous games.
It's his first season of AFL footy, and this is his 6th game in his first year, Drew.
Right in front, 30 metres from goal. Goal to Batheris. His second.
Well, it just shows you what a bit of running and a bit of confidence can do. This kid is unheard of. When I say kid, he's going on 24. He's found the ball. He's run forward confidently. Now we're going to watch Nathan Buckley again here. Just see if you can see what happens. He's grabbed his hamstring, I think, or his knee. There was a hyperextension of something. But we're not really any the wiser, are we?
Yeah, it's a bit of trouble though, Graham.
2-goal lead to Collingwood. A minute to go to half-time. And, well, their fans are outnumbered about 99-1 over here at Football Park. And all the momentum that Collingwood are getting from themselves as a unit out on the ground. King takes the ball over the line. They're coming from everywhere to pat Wokes on the head. And Collingwood have just played their lights out tonight in this first half. But the question is, can they keep it up?
With the young fellas there, Drew, they're certainly having a nice old crack at it. And full credit to Tony Shaw just to stick with them.
Oh, now that is the advantage rule.
Gone
hopelessly used.
And McLeod kicks to the opposing number 23, and Anthony Rocker takes a mark.
Well, it has to be an advantage to the player with the ball not a disadvantage to the team. The umpire blows the whistle. Every player stops. You cannot then allow the other player to run on with the ball.
So Anthony Rocca from the back pocket. Into this slight breeze, it holds up. Short of centre wing, the mark taken by Smart. Nigel Smart's first mark. In short, it gets to the back to Stevens. Time running out, nearly half-time. Rodman goes back. Lip tack round the corner. It bounces short of Jarman. He might still kick this. There's the siren. Beat them. They were 15 metres from goal as the siren went, and Collingwood lead by 2 goals at half-time.
And both of them slipped, both Anthony Rocca and Darren Jarman in their attack, and both slipped over. You've never seen that. A great half of football, spectacular. Well done, Collingwood. Adelaide not out of it yet, though, Johnny, you wouldn't think.
No way. You know, you see there, Monkey saying something nice to the umpires as he normally would, but no, this game has turned out to be a wonderful game.
And there's some spirit there. The cameras are with the Collingwood boys. They sense a chance to win here. 9-7-61 plays, Adelaide 7-7-49. There's no doubt that the game is wide open. Malcolm Blake won't be happy. He'll be looking for something extra from his players at half-time. Tony Shaw, on the other hand, will be imploring to keep going.
The gum that helps you to stop smoking. But how good is it?
The exciting part, I guess, is that now we've got something to offer.
Now you can be part of the clinical trial that could save lives.
I'd like to try it.
Details on 7 Nightly News.
When you need a delicious breakfast, the only place to go is McDonald's.
Well, once I had 27 hotcakes in one go. That's nothing. I ate 30 for free hash browns. As if...
High on the hill was a lonely goat herd, lay, lay, down to the voice of the lonely goat herd.
Oh, but who's this?
You must be Mr. Loser.
It's goal-kicking deals at Vodafone. Connect to any network Vodafone plan this month and you can win a hard-tackling, high-flying, ball-winning, goal-scoring, crowd-pleasing and loved full-power game-worn Guernsey. Simply connect to any Vodafone plan or upgrade your analogue to digital with Network Vodafone. Fill in the entry form and you could win one of 22 game-worn Guernseys from the Power Essendon Clash.
G'day, Gavin Wanganeen here.
Entry forms available from all participating Vodafone outlets.
Goal-kicking deals at Vodafone now.
No wonder you're losing. Stay focused. No having a cup of tea halfway through the game. Keep playing. No excuses. Get in the game.
Hi, Neil Humphreys here from 5AA. Last year, over 6,000 people attended the Christmas show at the Festival Centre Banquet Room, and this is what they thought.
Yeah, it was a good show. It's been a wonderful night.
Mario Maiolo and 5AA proudly presents Burns, Cotton and Morris for this year's Christmas dinner and show. 3 of Australia's most successful recording artists together. Ronnie Burns, Darryl Cotton and Russell Morris will take you back to fond memories and a musical experience that has earned its place in rock and roll history.
I'd have to say a 9.5 out of 10. Fantastic. It's just one of the best nights I've ever had in my life.
Food was lovely as well as everything else. It was a beautiful night.
And this show was 10 out of 10. I cannot give you any more than that.
Food was excellent. The service was great. Yeah, top night. 10 out of 10. Excellent.
Phone Mario Maiolo Promotions or book at Bass for Burns, Cotton and Morris at the Festival Centre Banquet Room. Social clubs, book early.
Which restaurant has won the American Express Awards 9 years in a row, including Best Restaurant in South Australia 98? Which restaurant has won the AHA's Excellence Award 5 years running? Which South Australian restaurant has won 3 Australian Golden Plate Awards? And which restaurant has taken out Restaurant and Catering's Best Restaurant in South Australia? The Oxford, North Adelaide. Join us in celebrating 10 years of service.
All right, Mr. Interwoven all-weather natural protection. Just run.
A man wanted for murder.
James Moore, who's also known as Paul Ward.
He's a master of disguise.
Assume different nationalities.
Who is this Mr. X?
Anything that could lead us to him or to his real identity.
Australia's Most Wanted, Monday.
And welcome back to Football Park at West Lakes here in Adelaide. And even though they had the breeze in that term, the Crows only outscored Collingwood by a point. Collingwood led by 13 at quarter time and they lead by 12 points at half time. Both teams kicked 4 goals in that second quarter. Phenomenal game of football between sides who are 14th and 16th on the ladder. The goal kickers, well, for Collingwood, Tyson Lane and Severio Rocker, along with Rupert Patheris, have kicked 2 goals each. In fact, Rocker has kicked 2 goals 5, and the rest have come in singles. But for the Crows, well, just 2 goal scorers. Andy McLeod and Darren Jarman have kicked 4 and 3, a bit reminiscent of Cummings and Phil Matera for the West Coast against Carlton a couple of weeks ago, when for the entire game they only had 2 goal kickers, and guess what? They lost that game. So I think the Crows might need to find a few more goal kickers in the second half here. And at the moment, the Crows, who've lost their last 5 games in a row, are in a little bit of danger of making it 6 in a row. Great performance by Collingwood, but so many times they've done it this year. Can they keep it up in the second half? We can't wait to find out. Another game being played tonight up at the Gabba, and a big one in this round is between the Brisbane Lions and Essendon. Let's take a look at some highlights of that game so far.
Down the middle. Man in front, umpire Goldfinger says no, play on. Rioli does. Should I say Long does down towards Rioli. Rioli picks it up and shoots towards goal and it's popped through another one. Flying start by the Bombers. Actually different, just about win that. In towards the half-forward line. Champion, the oldest player in the Brisbane Lions outfit, not paid the mark. Comes back to Bob. Make the boss. Unbelievable.
Now can Lynch get something going? Up he goes. Barnard goes to help out. Fletcher caught by Voss. Chance for Chris Scott. Brian Sheehan goes down to the crowd's delight. Richard Champion from 40 metres in the pocket. Back to the crowd's delight. Lions hit the front.
He centres it in towards half-back. Moorcroft is there and he's away. He's like a little bullet. Shooting up towards half-forward. Clever kick as he pulled it towards Alessio. Well, he's got Lloyd down in the square. Lloyd's calling for it. Now he's going to go short. Wasn't it? Yes, he's got him. The Bombers making their best start to the season for some 8 years, and Lloyd has kicked his second goal. Wellman will do battle with Clark. Ackermanis comes over the top. Here's dashing Darryl White, spearing the hand pass through to Boss. Back to Ackermanis. Here's a chart. It's coming back. It's coming back.
Keating and Alessio. Ashcroft, quick kick, building it forward, coming out half. Gets one from Moorcroft, the elbow, too high. Stevie Lawrence will have something to say there for sure.
McCurry working hard, but it comes to Ackermanis. Pumps out a lightning hand pass to Calthorpe. Fires in the goal against his old side, and he's put it through.
Now it's well deep inside their 50 towards Lloyd. Leppich with the punch. Down in front. Rioli. What can he... He just slaps it back to Mercedes, who gives it up to Moorcroft. Moorcroft around the corner. Magnificent work by the Bombers. Here's Buick over the back. He could goal this. Darren Buick loves to run and kick a goal. He's drawn the player. No, decides to kick it from 50. Will he bend it back enough? He may have. He has, Darren Buick.
Well, some great highlights there from the Gabba, and good to see good conditions up there as well, like we have here. Now, some stations taking a replay of that game after this, so if you don't wish to know the score of the Gabba, look away now. That shot we had of Malcolm Blight as he was making his way to the dressing room, that was 6.5 minutes before he moved from the coach's box here at halftime to go and address his players. So some problems with the Adelaide Crows, and they're down by 12 points at halftime to a rampaging Collingwood, bottom of the ladder, but leading the Premiers at halftime. We'll be back shortly.
How do you say goodbye to your only boy?
There's no brainwave activity.
He's dead. It would break your heart.
His heart is still beating. I think you need to say goodbye.
Monday, 9:30, Chicago Hope on 7.
McDonald's McMatch and Win Monopoly. Peel off a game sticker and you could win big prizes instantly. Like Honda HR-V Sports and PlayStation Platinum packs. McMatch and Win Monopoly. Stick around. This is going to be big.
what the 12th man did to cricket, the half-back flankers are doing to footy.
These cretins are taking the mickey out of everything and everyone.
This is Miles, 15.
Oh, no. Me, Rixie. We've got a lot of boring about Collingwood. Tenacity, perspicacity, and synchronicity.
Centimetre perfect. What do you think? What do you think?
I'll tell you what I think.
Just another day in the commentary box, really? You'd be an idiot not to get a copy. There, can I go now?
Ian Berry Insurance Brokers arrange insurance for all types of vehicles, including cars, vans, utes, caravans and semi-trailers. Ian Berry Insurance Brokers for value for money insurance. You can pay monthly and avoid the burden of the annual insurance bill. Phone for a quick quote and see how much you can save on your insurance. Ask about the discounts available on nominated driver and low kilometre car insurance.
See every recliner suite you ever wanted at the lowest price, or it's free at Discount Lounge Centre. The recliner suite experts. Hundreds of fabrics, unbelievable selection, absolute luxury at South Australia's largest lounge specialist. Discount Lounge Centre, Ranella, Parafield and Keswick.
Boss, I'm sorry. I just forgot. You know, it was only a little ad. It's not like it's the end of the world or anything. Is it?
The Yellow Pages directory is closing for advertising now.
The world's greatest circus, the Great China Circus, comes to Adelaide. See stunning costumes and 70 incredible performers, including aerialists, contortionists, clowns and jugglers in the most amazing theatrical circus experience. And due to public demand, there are now 5 extra shows. See the world's greatest circus this Wednesday through Saturday in a spectacular 2-hour production. You will not believe your eyes. Don't miss the Great China Circus at the Theberton Theatre. Book at VenueTix.
Race in for the Campfire Combo from Lone Star's most wanted list. Filet steak, prawns, chicken, calamari or ribs. Choose any two, it's up to you. The Campfire Combo, now on at Lone Star.
Lone Star, food for champions.
Please place your hands behind your back.
Excuse me? The knife they found in your drawer is the weapon used to cut off Susan Robbins' head.
This time,
Somebody's framing me.
it's one of their own accused.
How the hell did it get in her desk?
The Practice, Tuesday on 7.
And welcome back to Football Park, where at half-time Collingwood on the bottom of the ladder, leading the Premiers Adelaide by 12 points. A terrific first half by the Pies. Should be further in front. They lead 9-7 to 7-7. Name a game. We talk about it a lot, but there won't be any bigger name a game than this. What about Plugger? 1,300. Fantastic when he broke the record. And if you want that for $29.95, it's longer than the version went to air. No ads, name a game. 1-800-035-665 for Plugger, 1,300. I reckon it's one that you'll play over and over again. In the offices of the Sunday Herald Sun in Melbourne, Scott Palmer. Good evening, Scotty.
Good evening, Drew. How are you, mate?
I'm very well, thank you. Now, you'd like to be a big, tall, marking, goal-kicking forward at the moment, wouldn't you?
You really would. The big money's around for those guys. Of course, Matthew Lloyd, Matthew Richardson, and now the big money's coming for Warren Tredrea of Port Adelaide. I tell you what, he's managed by Jeff Motley, who manages Nathan Buckley, and every club over here is doing their homework on him. I reckon there'll be a big bid for him very, very soon, although Port Adelaide say we're going to keep him, Drew.
Yes, and there seems to be a lot of money to spend at the moment, and Collingwood are looking to empty their purses, and we're looking at a player over here.
They flew out yesterday to be at the ground today to watch young Matthew Pavlich play, Neil Baum, Noel Judkins and Mark Kleiman, and he kicked 7 goals, 2 for the Eagles, best on the ground. So those Collingwood boys who could have the first pick, remember, come back with very, very good reports about that kid, I'm sure.
Yes, absolutely. Now, what else have you got for us on the scene today?
Well, I was out at Optus Oval today. Tony Modra only kicked 1 goal. He scrambled it, but the Fremantle Dockers want to sign him up for the rest of his career. They budgeted for 70 goals a year. He's on target. Yes, today he had no chance because Scotty Wine was coming back blocking his path, but Modra could stay in Fremantle for the rest of his footy life.
That'd be great, but the Dogs got him on the run today.
Yeah, really did. David Smorgan got up at the lunch today, and he really had a go at the clubs playing at Optus Oval. He said, listen, we want to play 11 games at Colonial Stadium. We might have to play a couple elsewhere, but if we're going to play at Optus Oval, everyone else is. He's going to put it to all the AFL presidents on Monday night, Drew.
Now, Scotty, that comeback today at Waverley, when I was in the cab in Melbourne today, the Saints led 70-7 or something like that, and when I got here at the other end, all of a sudden they lost the game.
It was the best comeback in history. The statistician of the AFL's gone back through his records. Hawthorn have appeared in the 3 best comebacks. One in 89 against Geelong and one in 1937 against St Kilda at Glenferrie. But it was terrific. But apart from that, Drew, they celebrated and then they protested. The people got on the ground with placards protesting about the fact that they will have to leave Waverley. The Hawthorn Club will be meeting with the AFL on Monday morning to talk about relocation to the MCG. They're not happy, I tell you. And Timmy Watson, he was very upset. He said that he refused to condemn his side for that loss today, but he did have a go at Spider Everett. He said, I don't think Spider will be terribly proud of his effort today. He should have shown a lot more poise and composure. And he said that when the ground erupted, when Hawthorn were coming good, it really stimulated the side and put the Saints on the back step.
Now, very quickly, a sad note today. Peter Eakins, who played for Collingwood, not too well.
Our front page today, very, very sick over there in Perth. I was in Adelaide in 1969 when he shared the Tassie medal at the Adelaide Oval with Graham Malloy. His family are rallying around him. He's not too well at all, Drew. All we can say is, remember, of course, he came across here in 1970 and caused a bit of a ruckus down at Collingwood, the first contracted player, and a couple of big-known Magpies went on strike. But to the Eakins family over there, and Pete particularly, keep on punching.
Good on you, Scotty. Well said. And yeah, I've known Peter for a long time, since Perth days. All the best to Peter Eakins. We'll take a break here at Football Park and be back for the second half shortly.
My name's Bron and I'm going to be looking after you, okay? You all right?
She was the ambo at the scene of his accident. Now she's his nurse.
You were there.
How could she have forgotten everything?
You were there, but you don't remember.
In a powerful episode, she will find out.
Make it stop. I'm not strong enough to do this.
An experience you won't forget. All Saints, Tuesday on 7.
McDonald's McMatch and Win Monopoly. Peel off a game sticker and you can win big prizes instantly. Like family holidays to Disneyland with Air New Zealand. And IBM Aptiva computers. McMatch and Win Monopoly. Stick around. This is going to be big.
There's nothing nicer than the smell of a brand new car. Unless it's the smell of the money you'll save. With your 10% new car discount from SGIC Motor.
Computer gear, there's only one place to remember. A&R. It's all here. Desks, chairs, you name it. So for a new computer with all the latest goodies, internet and printer and scanner and stacks of software, pay just $3,000. What? $19.99 for all that? Where? Port Adelaide and Melrose Park.
Want a great bargain for the home? Hit a home run at Truscott Hi-Fi. This fabulous Miele dishwasher for $1,299 is a big hit. So is this Daewoo frost-free fridge for just $1,099. This Simpson 5.5 kilo washer for $649 is a crowd favourite, as is the Daewoo 2 horsepower split air conditioner for $1,695. Hit a home run with a great home bargain from Truscott. Adelaide's lowest prices with up to 24 months interest-free terms.
The biggest names in sport do Australian Coaching Network Super Clinics. You'll see Andrew McLeod, Mark Bickley and Gavin Wanganeen for football, Alex Tobin for soccer and Michelle Dendecker for netball. If you're aged between 5 and 15, it's a terrific opportunity to improve your skills and have a great time. You get a McDonald's award, movie pass, laminated group photo and a free t-shirt. And on the final morning, there'll be sports gear up for grabs at our big prize blitz. Entries from McDonald's and Westfields or phone 1800 626 224.
For
For 3 days only, ending Sunday, everything at Mitre 10 is going at up to 50% off in our annual June clearance. Galvanised 4-shelf unit, $15.95, going. Lucian knife block set, $19.95, going. Skip 13mm hammer drill, $79.95, going. There's a minimum of 10% off store-wide, so take a spin down to Mitre 10's annual June clearance for up to 50% off before it's all gone.
And welcome back to Football Park, where Collingwood are leading Adelaide by 12 points at half-time, and we're about to get underway for the second half. What a performance by the Pies in the first half. Can they keep it going? And can the Crows get out of their losing streak? Comes down to McLeod, who was brilliant in the first half with 4 goals. Punch to the front of the pack. Stevens has been excellent. Anthony Rocker gets back for the Pies. Support from Godden. Towards the outer side, but he's off the side of the boot with his kick, and lucky that he bounced it out rather than kick it out on the full.
No unusual changes for either side of this side. Buckley's off the ground, Batheris is in the centre, Williams has come onto the ball as the ruck rover, Jarman is at full forward, Robin at centre half forward for the Crows, and Collingwood pretty much the same as they finished before half time.
Chance here for the Crows into the breeze. Robin's hand pass to Edwards, throws it over his shoulder to the goal square. Oh, Anthony Rocker.
He is playing inspired football.
I think they might have found his spot for him down the back line.
He's too good a player to be out of form, isn't he?
Yeah.
Kosiska couldn't quite take the mark. It comes to the back to Costa. Oh, a bit of space for Burton.
I saw Malcolm Blake talking to him just before the siren went, Drew, and he was obviously making the point that now Buckley is off the ground, who was his tagging opponent in the first quarter. Start to go forward, start to play some of your own game, and I think Paul Williams is going to have a bit of a task keeping up with this lad, particularly if his ankle is still sore.
We had 14 possessions in the first half. Burton from 50. Holding up, won't make it. Punched out, but it's still in the danger zone as far as Collingwood's concerned. Moncourse did well. Still in the danger zone. Oh, Rashudo takes the mark. Well, he's outside 50, so I don't think he can score from there.
Well, the crowd are asking him to. They know he's a thumping kick, but he's gone for Jamison and finds him.
Fella, just an update on Nathan Buckley. The doctor said to me at half-time when they ran out that it was purely a test factor, see how he could go with his running. Now, apparently, it didn't quite work, so as we all know, he is back in the rooms.
What's the injury, Curls?
It's in the groin area.
So Jamison, who kicked it behind in the first quarter, he's away to the right and short with this one. It comes to the front. Rocker couldn't complete a mark. McLeod did well. Rob Roden off the left. Oh, great effort. And I think he's kicked it.
Want the perfect way to relax? Humans aren't the only ones to benefit from a good massage. Katrina has soothing secrets.
The strapping technique. You like that, don't you?
That we could all do with.
And as you can see, they really do love it.
And meet the pups with connections to the underworld.
If only they could talk.
For your chance to win $10,000 in the pause, grab a copy of this week's Woman's Day for your final chance to enter. Harry's Practice, Sunday on 7.
Well, that's a big goal by the Crows to open the second half with the first goal of the half into the breeze. And the margin now one straight kick. Moncourse gets it going Collingwood's way. McLeod's back, defending in midfield. Bloke who's kicked 4 goals and gave it off that time to Robin.
Drew, it's hard to put a value on Nathan Buckley not being out there because he is one of the very few AFL footballers today who gets 100% value for every possession.
Yep, Moncourse wins. It comes to Jackatine. A high ball inside the 50. Oh, good mark, Peter Cave. Smart. Tyson. And up towards centre half forward. Punch to the front. James Swamp. Godden did well. Gets the hands free for the hand pass. Batheris. Williams. Collingwood with the breeze. Williams to Rocker.
Beautiful pass.
Well, not only a beautiful pass, but Sav Rocker has managed to get 10 or 15 metres in the clear. Now, this is where the goal has to be kicked. We saw a magnificent first half by Rocker in terms of marking the ball. 8 marks he took. He kicked 2 goal 5.
Yeah, he must kick this, Graham, don't he? The opportunities for him are just begging for it.
So this to get the margin back to 12 points. And this time he's got it.
Well, it was a beautiful kick. And I think that's the difference perhaps, Johnny, between having the breeze behind you than in your face. I just sensed when he was kicking into the breeze in that second quarter, it was unsettling his balance. Certainly his drop. But you see some good work by Luke Godden. He had his hands full early with Andrew McLeod. He's played well off half-back. Paul Williams running back, desperate chase by Tyson Edwards. But Rocker, unopposed virtually.
Nathan Bassett must tighten up on him. But
the runner is now speaking to Nathan Bassett, so no doubt he said concentrate.
Pittman wins in the middle, but a bit of a fumble. The ball comes back to the centre circle. Eventually, Bickley gets the kick out for the Crows. Anthony Rocker, so the Rockers, the bookends, going well at both ends of the ground. Back near centre wing, Costa crunched to the ground by Freeborn.
Well, it's right in front of the Crows grandstand, and they think Kimmy Costa perhaps might have got a free kick after that.
You?
No, it would have been Tiggy Touchwood.
Fair buck.
Oh, Freeborn to Krasiska. Dumps it long. Here comes Sav again. Oh, great mark by Caven.
Ben Hart.
Gee, that was courage because he knew he was going to get cleaned up. Magnificent mark. Tyson to Pittman. He marked it low down in the gloves. He goes wide to Hart, who'd followed up. Hand pass didn't hit the target, and now Collingwood have it. Burns. Williams.
This is where they set up most of their play, Drew, coming off the half-back line.
Batheris a little bit slow, but up high. One out is Rocker. Good punch this time by Bassett. Rocker's got another chance. It spills back. Brown, good. On the 50. Lockyer, bang! And it's over their heads for a goal.
Great work.
Yeah, good shepherd.
The younger players are still getting right into it.
That was a great shepherd by Tyson Lane, wasn't it?
And we welcome network viewers to Football Park, and this is some surprise. Collingwood, who are on the bottom of the ladder, are leading the Premiers by 3 goals early in the third quarter. It's Collingwood 11-7 to Adelaide 8-7. And the Crows, who have lost their last 5 games in a row, are struggling a bit here against Collingwood, who are playing their lights out and should be further in front, apart from the fact that Severio Rocker has kicked 3 goals, 5. Top performance in defence here by Prestigiacomo, who takes the mark. There is a breeze going left to right of screen, and Collingwood have it in the third quarter. But their system and their play around the ground has cut the Crows to pieces. Up at half forward, Tyson Lane has been fantastic. A centering ball. Chance for a mark in front of goal. It hits the deck. They want a rover now. Freeborn. But the umpire's going to take hold of the ball and bounce it 15 metres out.
They have a sniff. We see Nathan Buckley there. We understand he's restricted by a groin injury. He had a test straight after half-time, but it was no good. Collingwood's problem, if they were going to have one tonight, John, was whether they knew how to win, but they have a sniff. Can they go on with it?
Well, with their younger players not playing so well tonight, their enthusiasm, hopefully that they can get them right through to the last minute of the game.
Fellas, it also must be remembered that Collingwood have a tremendous record against the Crows.
They do. They've won 2 of their 4 games here at Football Park. Rashudo floats a hand pass over the top. Goodwin up short of centre wing. Ill-directed kick straight to Krasiska. Short pass, and Tyson Lane has it again. His 17th kick into Brown. It's punched, comes to the front. Chance here for Collingwood. Davis, the youngster, just on. Didn't get a run in the first half. Davis again whips it back to Batheris, who's been terrific. Lane concedes some ground, but has turned it over. Krasiska. Well, they've had the ball and they've taken it defensively 30 metres. Savrock is back near the wing. Big Severio across the ground. Touch play on. Kick towards the 50. Palmed down by Stevens.
Good shepherd.
Former North Melbourne player, Mark Stevens. Prestigiacomo's got him. Stevens was running in circles. Comes to Tyson. 15-metre hand pass over to Robrin. Kick by Robrin out to Jarman in the pocket. Gets the hand pass back to Stevens. He's swamped by the numbers.
Can we get it out?
There are moments in games which almost turn it, and you sense maybe that one with Collingwood when they had all the play at half forward, they had options, and they just went around in circles with the ball, and the Crows were able to rebound and get the ball to where it is now. Mark Stevens playing a tremendous game as a tall forward.
Out near the pocket. Well, Burns attempted to clear it, but what a smother by Rodman, who's had an off night. He's had just 4 possessions, hasn't taken a mark. That was a terrific smother.
And there's a lift in intensity from both teams. The Crows are starting to get desperate. Collingwood sense a win.
Anthony Rocker. Both Rockers have been good. Pitting for Collingwood that Sav didn't kick straighter in the first half. Godden's hand pass eventually finishes up with Batheris. And here's a youngster playing in just his 6th AFL game, and he's played an absolute butler. Caven comes wide. Pittman runs out of room, and the ball's out of bounds on centre wing. I talked about Batheris, and here we are, 10 minutes into the 3rd quarter, and he's had 24 possessions.
It's a great effort by a kid who's just only had 6 games, and you know, as I said before, the Collingwood people must be really happy with all their young players so far.
Pittman gets it down to Rasciuto. Not one of his best. The kick by Rasciuto to the 50. Anthony Rocker.
Having a great game, Rocker.
He sure is. That's 6 marks to him. And Sav, playing at full forward, has had a heap of the ball. He's taken 9. Here come Collingwood again. Burns to Rocker. Bassett. Rocker gives sprint after this. Hart gets back. He beats him to it. Takes it all the way to the line, Ben Hart. And wins a boundary throw in the pocket.
Crows have got something like the right balance in their defence at the moment. They've got Bassett on Rocker, Smart's on Tarrant, Hart is on Young Davis, Caven is on Brown, which is not a bad matchup, and Jamison on Freeborn. They look to have stabilised their defence well, but it comes off hands to Jackatine.
Was that touched? I think he's kicked the goal.
Happy with it.
Temporary lapse of concentration at a bad corner. I ran up the back of a tradesman's van.
The front light was damaged, the bumper bar, some of the grill.
I made a phone call to Amy. Their people were well trained, that they knew the process, that they knew the answers to the questions. Amy really did make it very easy and did it all for us.
When I went and picked up the car, it was absolutely immaculate. I've never seen it so clean before.
It looked like it does now. It looked like a brand new car.
Very happy with Amy.
Craig Jackatine kicks a goal for the Pies. It's 80-55. What a lead for Collingwood, who in 11 rounds have won just 1 game this year. That was against Fremantle in round 8.
Graham, you mentioned about that Crows defence, you say, is well backed or well matched up. See, I'm waiting to see it work.
Well, on paper, Kurs, it looks a pretty good balance there, but Rocker is the danger player. It's the midfield that's hurting us, though.
James on the turn. Great pick up there by Stevens, who's been a real shining light on the forward line. Tyson. Jarman!
Oh, that's classic. And Mel Michael, what more could he do? He's body against body. The one-handed mark, sliding to the ground.
He's really putting in a big effort tonight, Jarman. This is one of his better games.
Well, who's holding who there? Jarman's got hold of the Guernsey. Malka's got hold of the arm.
Now, Graham, there was some talk about Jarman renewing his contract. How many years do you think that he's got left in him?
He's probably got a couple, but I think a wise football manager would probably only take him as a year-to-year proposition.
In front, 35 metres out. He's sprayed it a little bit to the right, and it's given him something to think about, and has missed it. Good heavens.
I think all that cheering was the Collingwood cheer squad at the back of the goals there. It wasn't the Crow supporters.
We saw Sav Rocker have a lot of trouble at that end of the ground too.
The Jarman's kicked 3, all in the second quarter. So he's kicked 3, 2, and 1 out of bounds. Scott Burns, beautiful pass, and he was let down by Prestigiacomo close to the boundary line. He recovers, gets the hand pass in. Batheris gives chase, worked off it by Bickley. Great desperation by Godden.
You want to see a player hit the ball hard. You want to see a player who plays on courage and just guts alone, and this Luke Godden is an example. He's not the most skillful, elegant player you see, but he gives you an honest contest every time.
Well, Graham's had 11 kicks and 7 handballs, so halfway through the third quarter, it's a great effort by the young kid.
Another touch for Batheris. Burns. Got one in the back, free kick.
The
according to umpire Brett Allen. Kicked
Now,
by Burns inside the 50.
There's an enormous ruckus behind the play here.
Someone's down.
Someone's down, and
Collingwood player.
it's a Collingwood player down, and we're seeing Luke Godden remonstrating with Brett James.
On the run is Anthony Rocca. The ball in the goal square, off hands, and through for a minor score.
Well, Frankie Razzo's the one that's down, but Luke Godden's letting Brett James know all about it.
Bassett kicks in. Plenty to do for the Premiers. McLeod has been sensational. He's kicked 4 first-half goals, and he kicked all their goals in the first quarter. 3 out of 3. Sleight of hand there. Into Tyson. He strolls through the wing. Kicks inside 50. Jarman again. Punched by Michael. Straight to the path of Pittman. Here's a goal coming up to Burton. Burton gets his first.
Telstra Big Pond makes it easy to experience the internet. The world's greatest research tool is also one giant amusement park. Get on Big Pond, because it doesn't matter what you're chasing or what entertains you. If you're looking, you'll find it here. Telstra Big Pond Internet Services makes the ride easy. Just call 1-800-804-282. Big Pond, big possibilities.
Well, a terrific game of football in progress here at Footy Park. It's a lot better than you'd reckon you'd get between 14th and 16th on the ladder. Bickley burst through the middle but went without the football. He gets back in after it.
Oh, look at, you can see the desperation of both teams now.
A couple of changes here getting ready for the Crows. Liptak and Connell getting ready to come on.
Well, Malcolm Blight did that in the second quarter, Curls, and that did change the momentum slightly the Crows' way.
Yes, that's correct.
Connell and Jamison were late inclusions for Adelaide, taking the place of Bond and Kane Johnson. Anthony Rocca. Oh, hit it really hard. Well done. And they force a ball up. Good stuff, Anthony Rocca.
It's good signs for the Rocca boys tonight. Just, you know, both boys having a fair dinkum crack at it, and you know, I suppose at the end of the day, there's not much for them for this year, but certainly for the futures.
Bounce here by umpire Mark McKenzie, just inside the 50 for the Crows. It comes to Tyson Lane, who's been absolutely brilliant, holding the ball to the crowd. Play on, says the umpire, and he's going to ball it up.
It's the 16-minute mark of the third quarter. Tyson Lane's had 17 kicks and 5 handballs, taken 5 marks.
That's not a bad night's work, and 2 goals as well. Kicked 5 goals last week. Here's Rocca once more. Slips the tackle, gets it to Paul Williams. He clears the defence. A vacant midfield. They scream into the gaps here. Caven goes to ground. Smart outnumbered. Thrown to the ground in a good tackle. Picked up by Tarkin Lockyer. The hand pass out to Brown. Gavin Brown on the shortest haircut I've ever seen him in all these years of football. Through Lockyer it goes to Williams. Well played, Paul Williams. Good chase by Smart. Ball. Williams unhappy, but that was a great chase by Smart. Through Costa it goes. James, perfect. McLeod. Breeze has died off, not much in it, but it's into the Crows' face in this third quarter. And we've seen Goodwin drift up from defence, and Simon Goodwin will kick the goal from just outside 40.
It's good signs that the Crows' defence are running. Andrew McLeod's been at everything for them. Clearly their best player. This will be a real test of the breeze here. Simon Goodwin is a good kick, nice smooth mover.
Caven with a limp. They don't need any more injuries. Goodwin. It goes right and is rushed through for a minor score. Well done, Mal Michael. Let's have a look at how Caven finished up with this limp. This was the contest back with Brown in midfield. He was just taken off the ball by the former Magpie skipper. Lockyer kicks into Lane, who's playing out in the wing, we reckon, Cornsey, but
playing in the wing.
He's getting it back pocket, forward pocket, all over the place. Smart. Tarrant giving chase. Smart's hand pass is good. Robin, forwards working and getting back in defence. Rashudo, good pass. Burton took his man on and just beat him. Kicked by Burton to a vacant goal square. They dash to it. Goal! Tyson Edwards.
For 3 days only, ending Sunday, everything at Mitre 10 is going at up to 50% off in our annual June clearance. Galvanised 4-shelf unit, $15.95. Going. Lucian knife block set, $19.95. Going. 13mm hammer drill, $79.95. Going. There's a minimum of 10% off store-wide, so take a spin down to Mitre 10's annual June clearance for up to 50% off before it's all gone.
Goal to Edwards. The Crows have kicked 3 goals into the breeze in this term. And Collingwood have kicked 3 with it. Liptak, great to see him back. First game of the year. Off to Rashudo. Signs the Crows are coming back. And they needed to. Connell on the big turn. Up to the forward line. Good punch away by Michael. Out towards the boundary line. In desperation, Stevens got there second. And the Collingwood player got his body in between opponent and ball. And it's Lane again.
Malcolm Blight spent a lot of time on the half-time ceremony. In fact, it was 7 minutes before he actually got down to the Crows' change rooms after half-time sounded. So a lot of planning has gone into this third quarter.
Pittman wins the hit out. Rashudo off the ground, gains another 25 metres, and that throw-in will be about 30 around from the behind post.
And maybe the planning has taken about 20 minutes to work because the Crows are right back in this game.
Yeah, they've certainly stepped up a cog, Stanley.
3 goals to each in this quarter. Monkhorst was fantastic in the first half, but having the hammies worked on at the moment. Anthony Rocker gets it to the line. He's worked hard.
Gee, I think they need Monkey back on the ground a bit. I think that he's so important to the Collingwood Football Club itself and to those junior players out there.
And look, you just make him run himself into the ground on a night like tonight. There's no point saving him for the last quarter.
The shootout went without it. Might have been held. Godden to Burns. Burns round the boundary line. Clever. Krasiska a one-hander. Gavin Krasiska, defensive 50 for Collingwood. Margin 12 points, same as it was at half-time. Lane kicks to half-forward. Gavin Brown. Beautiful kick. Gavin Brown, as we know, struggles a bit with his distance on kicks. Rocker leads from near the goal square. The kick in that direction. He's crunched to the floor. Play on, says the umpire. Davis put behind. Hart well played. Sweeping hand pass to Connell. Little one round the corner. On the bounce, it sits for Jamison, the veteran. Back tonight. Jarman a long way up the ground, up near centre wing. Half-distance pass, Rashudo. They are starting to cover ground now. Kick by Rashudo. Beautiful kick. Hart.
The defence is the key, as Johnny pointed out 5 minutes ago. The Crows' defence is running, controlling the ball and creating the forward opportunities.
4 minutes to three-quarter time. Collingwood lead by 12 points, and the Crows will come home with this breeze. It's not a gale, but the Crows will have it in the last quarter.
Caven coming up, boys. I think he's got a sore leg.
Yeah, after that clash with Gavin Brown. Hart from the 50-metre line. Pittman. No mark. It comes to the front of the pack. Matthew Liptak, the dock. Kick smothered. Well done, but Theris. Beautifully done. To Lockyer. Buckley back on.
Still limping a bit though, Drew. I watched him up here at centre-half forward and just limping just still quite a bit.
Into Burns. This is Collingwood's, well, you'd have to say their best performance of the year. Their only win was against Fremantle, but this is the Premiers in Adelaide. Hand pass back to Brown. He didn't see Hart coming. It spills. Jackatine off the right, up to the goal square. Chance! Freeborn just couldn't trap the ball in there. Oh, Jamison, not sure. Bassett. And Bickley.
Rod Jamison was looking for the switch play there, as Mark Bickley is at the moment. And here he goes, but they were just trying to open up the other side of the ground.
Oh, that's dangerous.
It's a risky kick, but it's going to work.
Connell takes the mark, and just as well he did. Hart, 81 to 69. 2.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Robrin gets back and takes his first mark for the night, but he had to go back to centre-half back to get it. Out towards centre wing. James. Against his old side. He had 3 seasons at Collingwood. Into Connell. Been trying to run around in circles a bit, but it's kicked things off, and they've taken the ball all the way the length of the ground. James. No mark. Comes to the front. Stevens the hand pass. Liptak off the left, and has missed to the left. Sorry, it was Edwards.
Well,
Did you see
the pressure right back on
changing a bit
Tony
now?
Shaw now because Crows are controlling it. Haven't hurt them enough on the scoreboard yet. But Collingwood have to get back on the front foot. They're in survival mode at the moment, and that's going to happen with a young, inexperienced side.
Here's Godden in the back pocket for the Pies.
Freeborn off, Jamie Tape on.
First run for Tape, and here we are, just 2 minutes for three-quarter time.
In fact, Rod Jamieson was just getting on top of him too, across half forward for Collingwood.
Lane has played a phenomenal game. He's had 24 possessions, taken 8 marks. Kick by Tyson Lane. There's Tape, fresh. Pittman dragged to ground. Good hand pass, Tarrant into Buckley. He's injured with the groin. The kick to the 50. Oh, juggled mark, but Goodwin completed it. Away to Rasciuto. Now they can set up down the outer side, and if they can get one more before the siren, it could be crucial. Connell, a great kick to James. James further to Burton, who's kicked a goal this quarter. He's 40 metres out, but wide out.
Matthew Connell's been important coming off the bench. He's had 6 possessions. He finds space, he finds the ball. There's a bit of criticism about his decision-making once he has the ball. But tonight, if the Crows get back into it, he will have been a factor. Andrew McLeod on the end of that Burton kick. He waited and waited. McLeod found the space, popped it up for him.
Probably just a little bit too easy for the Crows then, Graham. You find that if a bloke's having a shot, you've got to be man on man, arm across the body, and make sure that no one gets free.
John, it'll be interesting to watch Buckley's type of game here. He's definitely not fit. I think you'll find he'll just float around the midfield.
And his kick doesn't have the penetration curls at the moment. He's looking to go short.
Yeah, well, I guess if you've got a sore groin, you would be feeling a little bit.
This is a reasonably important kick for both teams.
Oh, this is huge in the overall for the game. McLeod has kicked 4 goals, 1 for the night. Can he make the margin 5 points on three-quarter time? Oh, it's beautiful. Michael got a fist to it, but I think it's over the line. A goal to McLeod.
20 seconds before three-quarter time, Andrew McLeod, he's kicked 5 goals. He's just held the Crows in this lot. He and Burton have been tremendous, and that would break the Collingwood supporters' heart because they've drawn back to within, well, 5 points going into the last quarter. Crows will have the use of a slight breeze. And Collingwood have given everything, and that has been a classic game of football.
They've just got to hang in, don't they? They're just going to have to hang in there at three-quarter time, get the team settled a bit. You know, Buckley's injured, Williams is not quite right as well, so some of their senior players just have to go with it.
Just 7 seconds remaining to three-quarter time. A little soccer. Another one by Krasiska. It comes out wide to Jamie Tape. There's the siren. And the Crows have got themselves within 5 points at the last change. Collingwood led by 13 at quarter time, by 12 at half time, and now their lead is cut to 5.
It's going to be very interesting the last quarter, Graham, just the way that things are panning out. They just feel that the Crows are just starting to get on top with their back line running right through to their forward line.
Their momentum is there, and the confidence of a free-running back line is very, very good at the moment. And just watching the Collingwood players, they're trying to G each other up. They're patting them, they're encouraging, but there's a few heads that are down. There's almost a look of resignation about them at the moment. But they've broken into their groups, as you can see there. Krasiska saying what has to be done. Crows similarly. It's going to be a very good last quarter.
Sunday. All that stands between a city.
This isn't a train exercise, is it?
And its annihilation is a man who's never seen combat.
I'm just a biochemist. I drive a Volvo, a beige one.
And another who's been out of action for 30 years.
Welcome to the Rock.
Sean Connery.
You sure you're ready for this?
Nicolas Cage. In the action premiere.
Seems Alcatraz was just reopened.
The Rock. Sunday, 8:30 on 7.
McDonald's McMatch and Win Monopoly. Peel off a game sticker and you can win big prizes instantly. Like $50,000 cash from Aussie Home Loans and Samsung Home Entertainment Systems. McMatch and Win Monopoly. Stick around. This is going to be big.
We run Colorific. We're Australia's #1 craft toy company.
I'm doing Santander for the children.
We also make face paints. How do we know what works? We understand our consumer.
Look at this, Poppy.
One day, every child in the world will be playing with one of our toys.
At the bank, we look after their everyday stuff, such as payroll, leasing and all their finance, so they can do what they do best.
So what's it called? Watch me grow.
If you want to get more out of your business, make it happen with the bank. Call 13 19 98.
I was complaining to my friend about how much we spend on international calls. He said, "Are you crazy, mate?
You're crazy, mate.
You should use OneTel."
OneTel interrupts this commercial for an important announcement. OneTel's cheap long-distance rates just crashed to an incredible all-time low. Check out these fantastic new rates. 33 cents a minute to Italy, 37 cents to France, 38 cents to the Netherlands, and 43 cents to Greece. Dial 1478 first. Register with OneTel, 8416-0533.
You tell your friends about OneTel.
It's the last big stocktake sale this century. So the bedding factories are going to do it again.
Do what?
Going to dump over 2,000 beds into Le Cornu's, up to half price.
Half price?
Yep. It'll be the biggest stocktake sale of the century.
Over 2,000 Sleepmaker, King Core, Sleep Haven, Therapeutic and Adriatic beds are up for grabs. More ensembles for $1.99 and mattresses for $22. Look at these prices. Don't miss out.
There's nothing nicer than the smell of a brand new car. Unless it's the smell of the money you'll save. With your 10% new car discount from SGIC Motor.
Dave the Storeman at Truscott Hi-Fi is trapped by too much stock, which must be cleared before stock take at the end of the month. Out go 34cm TVs from $269, big screen TVs from $699, stereo VCRs from $399, Dolby Prologic mini systems from $699, and camcorders with a bonus from $798. It all has to go.
Please help.
Truscott's, Adelaide's lowest prices with up to 24 months interest-free terms. Hurry, Dave needs your help.
Help.
Fly in now to the Peter Shearer Stocktake sale. Save up to 50% off suits, up to 50% off business shirts, 20% off Studio Italia blazers, and up to 25% off casual jackets. The Peter Shearer Stocktake sale. Check it out.
The Commonwealth Bank have been fantastic for us in the area of overseas trade finance, of overdraft facilities.
Still don't know what he means.
We're helping real businesses like Colorific make it happen. To find out what we can do for you, call 13 19 98.
1 quarter to go at Footy Park, and what a quarter of football it should be. The three-quarter time score sees Collingwood up by 5 points. They lead 12-9 to 11 goals 10, but the Crows will be coming home with the slight breeze. McLeod's kicked 5 goals. He's kicked 3 in the first quarter. Jarman has kicked 3. Sav's kicked 3 for Collingwood, but it could have been so many because he's kicked 3 goals 5. Now, there's that other game going on at the Gabba tonight, a terrific game between Essendon and the Brisbane Lions. Some stations getting a replay. If you don't wish to know the score, look away now. Now we can go down to the boundary line and Neil Curley. Curls?
Thank you, Drew. Well, Neil, few injuries. Williams, Buckley and Monkhorst knocked you around a bit.
Yeah, Buckley might be all right. Williams won't go on, but Monkey might be able to come back on.
This is where the kids have got to stand up.
Oh, it's been a terrific effort so far, but we've got to win the game.
Thanks for your time.
Good on you, Neil Baum. Well, the black and white ball is on next weekend, and if the Pies can win against the Premiers here tonight, what a night that is going to be. It's $100 at the casino, and the phones are manned at the club tonight. Melbourne number 9419-9222, the black and white Collingwood ball.
Just a couple of changes. Anthony Rocker has had to take over the knock-breaking against David Pittman. Mark Prosciutto's gone into defence on Gavin Brown. Brett James will be in the centre, and Matt Connell on Tyson Lane.
Pittman wins the first hit out. It goes to Godden, who's been fantastic. Buckley injured and all, gets it away to Lockyer. His kick inside the 50. Good trap by Tarrant, then he lost it. They've still got a chance though. Gavin Brown over the ball. Hand passes away. 40 metres from goal and getting closer, but Bickley chops it off. Goodwin back to Hart. That's coolness under pressure. Jamison, the juggler. Just gets it away. Too suave. Rasciuto with distance. McLeod lost sight of it. Razzo is there. It's kicked off the ground. Knocked away by Michael from Jarman. And what a task Mal Michael will have here in the last quarter.
He's done a fairly good job, hasn't he, Michael? I think tonight on Jarman. Even though Jarman has kicked 3 goals, he only got those in the second quarter. So good job so far. And this is dangerous.
Francisca, this is trouble for Anthony Rocker.
Oh, he had to take the mark, and he stood tall and did it. Andrew McLeod bearing down on him. He was tremendous in the first 3 quarters at centre-half back, but he's had to be moved onto the ball.
Geez, stepped up this season. Oh, Tyson Lane again. What a game he has played. Up to Brown. Not quite. Lane followed up. Brown wants the tongue of it. Oh, the crowd holding the ball.
Yeah, well, it would have been unfortunate.
Tyson Lane had 21 kicks. Having a great game.
Well, in the swap deal with Josh Marnie, I think they've done pretty well here, Collingwood, getting Tyson Lane. Pittman wins the hit out. Comes to James, who's pulled off the ball when he didn't have it. Free kick.
Yeah, just a lapse of concentration by Tyson Lane. Maybe a little lapse of discipline too. He had to release the tackle as soon as the ball went.
That's trouble, that kick. Lockyer could have got a fist to it. It comes through to the back to Costa. Long to full forward. Touchdown is McLeod. Back to Stevens, who's been great without kicking goals. Offline with his kick, and Buckley, injured groin and all, gets back into the back pocket.
He never flinched there, did he? The ball coming over his head, running back into trouble. He did not flinch.
Razzo up to midfield. Oh, Rockran just got a touch to it. Jacatine punched to the floor. Oh. It's tight in the clinches, as it should be. James comes out wide. Connell centering ball. Mark on the forward line for the Crows. Buckley got a slight touch. Oh, it comes here to Edwards. Edwards puts the Crows in front.
The gum that helps you to stop smoking. But how good is it?
The exciting part, I guess, is that now we've got something to offer.
Now you can be part of the clinical trial that could save lives.
I'd like to try it.
Details on 7 Nightly News. On Today Tonight, the 4-year-old terror beating up his mother.
He'll stalk you. He'll attack.
Assaulting other kids at the preschool.
You're lucky if you don't get your nose broken. It shouldn't be like that.
6:30 Monday.
Well, the Crows in front for the first time, and it's only gone about 3 minutes into the last quarter for them to raise the deficit, and Collingwood will have to do it all again into the breeze, but they've got a chance here. Lane bounces the ball inside 50. Good tackle by Jacatine. Ball spills to Rasciuto. They're under pressure. Smart did very well there. It's wide and out of bounds at that stage would do them.
Fellas, Moncor is getting ready to come back on because Anthony Rocker is limping a little.
Sort of all desperate stuff by the Collingwood Football Club now. They just seem to be playing blokes who are injured and just playing for the club now.
And it was Jamie Tape who came off, Curls.
That's correct.
Burton taps it across to Bickley. It bounces for Stevens. He hand passes away. Prestigiacomo lasted a bit long with his tackle.
Just held him too long in the tackle when the ball went. Frustrating. You get to the player, you apply the tackle, the ball goes. You're tempted to hold on to that fraction long, but you have to let go.
Well, Stevens has had 17 possessions. He's done very well. And here's Big Monkey back into the fray. 12 possessions, and he's had 8 marks. Just towards the outer side of the ground. Michael sees the safety of the boundary line and wins a throw-in.
Joe doesn't like it, though.
Graham, just keep an eye on Anthony Rocker. He's definitely favouring a leg.
Boundary throw-in. Ball knocked up the ground, and they've gained about 20 metres with that, Collingwood, up to just short of a true centre wing position.
Well, I see Jamie Tape's actually back on, Curls. Who came off there? There's Chris Tarrant come off.
Tarrant. Boundary throw-in. Monkhorst taken out by Pittman, and the whistle's gone. Free kick, Monkhorst.
Yes, Tarrant came off then.
He's gone well tonight. And he did brilliantly when they beat Fremantle. He was recalled from the reserves for that game. Monkey, he had 3 in the reserves this year, and tonight is his 199th game. It was looking like he mightn't actually get to the line to play 200.
He cannot raise a leg there.
He is suffering from a left leg injury of some sort. The doctor won't give us the correct one, but he is carrying a leg.
He's big enough if he just gets himself in the right spot. He'll still create a lot of dramas for the Crows, though.
Bickley flew over the back. Soccer off the ground up towards the 50. Stevens, another possession. Oh, great smother. Prestigiacomo. It comes back to Stevens. So Presti a little bit unlucky there. He puts it to the top of the goal square. Jarman works to the front. Punched by Michael. Lane once more. Burrows through. Good hand pass. Gordon.
He knew what he wanted to do. Darren Jarman bearing down on him, and he slid gracefully into the hoarding. Well, if Luke Gordon could do anything gracefully.
There's just been one score in this last quarter in 6 minutes. That was a goal to Adelaide to put them in front by a point. What a scrap it is. And Collingwood playing their best game for the year. You'd have to rate it ahead of the Fremantle win.
Yes. They're just desperate tonight, Colin. You can just see it, even though they have got some players which are injured, they're right at it, and even right up to 7-minute mark of the last quarter, they're still having a crack at it.
Yes, but it's the Crows' defence now that's really starting to regain its composure and maintain its composure.
Kicked by Lane, punched by Stevens. It comes to Bickley, but his hand pass into a nest of players. That was only a 50-50 at best. Grabbed by Connell. Works towards the 50. Oh, well done, Tate. Wide to Buckley. Gee, there's some walking wounded out there tonight. Buckley, what a kick! Krasiska should have taken the mark.
Taken that one.
Rodgren to Bickley. He's given it up as well. Prestigiacomo. Young Bathera's on the bounce. A bit like Damien Fleming.
This is a great contest, Drew. This is a tremendous contest of football.
Prestigiacomo. Jacatine's ball from behind. It comes to Smart. Crows with the slight breeze in the last quarter. Distance on Smart's kick. But a mark to Gordon. Oh, playing above themselves all around the ground. Young Tarkin Lockyer, he's done well. And he gains a few metres and the ball out of play.
I don't think they play above themselves, Drew. Perhaps they play to their maximum. They just get the maximum out of their bodies as they're doing. They've come to play footy. They've made a great contest. We saw Damien Monkhorst. He's given it a fly. It's not good enough. He's come from the ground.
Yeah, Davis has replaced him.
Tape overruns. Rocker did well, Anthony. Lockyer. Oh, great pick-up by Frankie Razzo. Terrific stuff. He kicks towards the 50. Sav caught behind this time. Bassett. It comes to Brown. Gavin Brown to put the Pies back in front. And they lead by 5 points.
There's not much spontaneity in their celebration, Johnny, is there?
Oh no, but Graham, losing five in a row, and to win this one, you just have to keep the players positive. I think that a win's a win, and to win here is very, very important, especially to their players and also to their supporters. So here we go. Here's the song.
Well, they were mighty tonight, and they had to be to get over Collingwood by 5 points. It was 14-15 to 14-10. So in the last quarter, they kicked 3-5 to 2-1. To come from behind, they trailed at every change and led for the first time in the last quarter, and led only a couple of times. But most importantly, when the siren went, they were in front.
They were in front, and look, Collingwood supporters will be disappointed, but they should be proud of their young side. I know there's no second prize, but with Monkhorst off the ground, with Anthony Rocker in trouble, with Paul Williams injured, with Nathan Buckley restricted by his groin injury, they did a mighty job to get so close. Neil Curley's in the Crows change rooms. He's got Tyson Edwards with him.
Graham, this is a very difficult angle.
But this is the goal. These are the goals they practice, Curls, when they train on this ground. This is the pocket they work on every night.
Just do a nice little side step then.
Yeah, good luck.
He'll be right. Check side.
Yep.
Oh, look at that. Jarman has put the Crows back in front.
Prices you can't go past on the multi-award-winning Mirage from $13,990. Lancer GLI Coupe $18,490 with air. And Lancer GLI Sedan $24,990 drive away with air. The Mitsubishi end of financial year sale now on.
A freak goal by Darren Jarman, his fourth, and the Crows back in front by 2 points. McLeod goes off the ground, out towards the wing, socket forward by Lockyer. He'll take it back from Jackatine, concedes some ground. Burns, back home in Adelaide, he's turned it up. McLeod goes wide, and the ball just gets over the line.
You got to admire Graham. You got to admire Buckley here. He's definitely not fit. He is carrying injury, but he's giving it all for his club.
Well, it's about heroics, isn't it? And leadership.
Just about.
Knocked forward by Herbert in ruck. It comes to Liptak, making a return tonight. Down towards the forward pocket. Through Jarman it goes. Tape is there for Collingwood. Oh, it goes goalwards. And a rush behind. Margin 3 points.
It's a pretty dangerous thing to do in this game. One behind might just be the difference.
Could be. 12 and a quarter minutes remaining. And 3 points the margin.
Oh, a young player kicking off. He's gone for it. Fortune favours the brave, and he's found Krasiska.
That was Lockyer. Krasiska straight up the ground. Knocked on by Anthony Rocker into the path of Freeborn. He just gets free. He's chasing his own kick. Glenn Freeborn after it again. And gets it out in between wing and half forward.
Good effort. That was just a desperate play. He knew that the pressure was on when he did kick the ball and fired up from his kick.
Good pressure by Matthew Robin to get to him, and an unsettled kick though.
Anthony Rocker. Back to Batheris, number 49. He's been great. Clinton King, a high ball towards 50. Brown out number 2-1. Gavin Brown, who kicked a wonderful goal earlier this quarter. Dragged to the floor by Rashuto. Comes to Hart. Half distance pass. Bickley takes the mark.
Rashuto and Brown has been a very good move.
Robrin. He's had to drift deep back into defence to take his only 2 marks of the night. Up short of half forward. Here they go. And the man in front is Edwards. He is 75 metres from goal. Jarman leads towards the pocket. Edwards centres looking for Connell. Bit of body work. Connell brings it to the ground. Ball spills out to Liptak. Back with his hand pass. Missed the target. Stevens. McLeod. Connell. James. What pressure! Oh, high tackle against
Bit unlucky there.
Well, he slipped in the tackle. It's almost a duck. Nathan Buckley didn't do anything wrong. Just watch it here. He takes the ball, slips.
Yeah.
Well, you have to go for the hips, don't you, in the tackle?
Certainly do, Graham.
He's not confident. There, he looked off.
And he's given it to Hart, who's drifted up. And Ben Hart right in front, 52 metres out. Righto, what are the odds? You've coached him. Will he kick this, Corsi?
I don't think he'll make the distance through.
He'll make the distance.
He's got the wind behind him, so he's a fair chance. He'll kick from about 50.
Ben Hart could nearly be a sealer if he drills it. Oh, what a kick!
Distance.
Oh, poster!
I don't think he'll be accurate enough.
He's a backman.
So 4 points the difference, and that leaves Collingwood still in with a show.
You've got to take your hat off to Collingwood. No Williams, no Monkhurst, and Buckley injured.
Yeah, great job by the
Gerald, it's been a great game of football.
Certainly has.
Lockyer kicks in to the shortest man on the ground, and King marks on the 50.
Buckley's clear.
Well, now what's he going to do with it? Open paddock in front.
Oh, he's taking a
Can he run? Oh, that's terrific. Fortunately, it bounced off Fuller. It comes to Hart. Robrin. King gets him high. I don't know how he did that. Rashuto. Middle of the ground. Liptak. On the run, James. Jarman.
That's when it hurts you down the ground.
Brett Burton in the goal square, boys. Brett Burton.
And Burton takes the mark in front of the behind post.
Just that little mistake from Fuller up on the half-forward line, dropped the chest mark, and all of a sudden is sitting in the Crows' forward pocket.
When you say a mistake, but the pressure of the Crows' defence with the the player was right along, his opponent was right there, perhaps got the fist to it.
Lockyer, he comes wide, that's good. And Razzo didn't let anybody down there. They've worked it well.
Got to get out of the area.
Prestigiacomo.
Big kick, son.
Into ball. Some sort of a hand pass out. Freeborn.
Kicked in the hand.
Fuller. Knocked down by Smart, but straight to the path of Freeborn. Floating hand pass to Burns. On the bounce to Lane. Gavin Brown for his third. Now he goes over the top with the hand pass. Chance for Davis, the youngster in his first season.
Rocker.
They're in front by a point. Gee, if this was at Victoria Park, they'd have raised the roof. There wasn't a whisper. Collingwood by a point.
Are you surprised, Drew? Are you surprised there wasn't a whisper? Bassett's done the right thing. He's gone straight down the ground looking for Robran, but it's gone astray. Good play by Burton, was able to knock it on. Now Robran's got it. He's got time to settle too. The kick goes long. Jarman lurks.
Up to full forward. It comes to the back. Jarman.
Free kick.
The whistle's gone. Collingwood free kick. Mal Michael to take it. Taken out of the contest by Herbert. Close to the boundary line, and Collingwood work it up to centre wing. Lockyer. Oh, good contest. The 224s with Burton. The ball out of play. Kick by Jamie Tate for the white line. Well judged kick. That's really great kick.
That's a good touch, Drew.
Yes, there's a lot of agitation in the grandstand about the treatment of Darren Jarman there. Well, I think sensible.
Kick by Hart. Anthony Rocker is there. Excellent mark by Herbert.
That is a great goal. He had the sit on Anthony Rocker. Just worked his way to the back. Took Brett Burton coming forward. Brett Burton wincing in the contest. Now Lucas.
Lucas Herbert playing just his 7th game with the likes of Wren and Marsh out with long injuries. He stood up that time. And he puts them in front!
Here's
Ball here at Football Park. The Crows in front again by 5 points. They've led for only about a minute and a half all night. It comes to Bickley. Francisco. Buckley. He's kept it in. Right to the goal square. But
free kick.
Free kick.
He's paid it.
30 seconds to go.
Oh, he had the body against it.
Out to Robran. 27 seconds remaining now. And surely the Crows will hang on. But what a performance by the Pies. Oh, he's turned up. Batheris, a centering kick. They need a mark. Sam Rocker goes up. It comes to Bassett. Unbelievable pressure. You thought one day cricket was good. Robran.
That is it.
Seconds remaining. The Crows have the ball. The Premiers are going to break their losing streak. And there it is. By a whisker over at gallant Collingwood.
It was a magnificent game of football. There's no elation from the Crows. There is simply relief and devastation from the young Collingwood side, who gave everything in a classic game of football. The Crows had to extract every ounce of football ability from their bodies. They did that, and as we look around the ground, you don't see any joy, you don't see any celebration whatsoever. Darren Jarman played a magnificent game.
Just the relief for the Crows players, Graham, you can just see it down through there. But full credit to Collingwood. Look, they are just a team which I think are looking forward to the year 2000, and the way that the younger players are playing like tonight, and Tony Shaw has put his head on the block for this club, and I think it's a fantastic the way the guys are playing for him. The attitude they've got, they've got nothing else to play for except for their club, and it's just great to see.
Neil Curley down with Darren Jarman.
Yeah, thanks.